do. Uh, Otherwise, you will get a swift suspension. I am indeed not reading chat, but just so it looks nice. I've got my
He
cheerleader
honestly
right
could
here. He's
run
gonna whisper.
fair play for any chess tournament. Like that was a really good explanation of what not to do when somebody's playing a chess game.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's I think it just shows how much he's improved and how well he's been playing that you have him saying stuff like this. I think a lot of people are just very, very surprised by his performance, but the performance has been spectacular. Obviously, it's all been very fair, and it's been great to watch.
And he'll have his toughest test ahead of him against the mighty Hutch. Hutch has been streaming chess for many years. I mean, Ludwig himself said that part of the reason that he got into chess was he saw Hutch streaming a long time ago, and that kind of added to his interest in the game. So Hutch, he's the OG.
Yeah, I think certainly in terms of Hutch, he's definitely streamed chess. I mean, he's been on Twitch for a very, very long time now. But I feel like I've heard stories about people who've told me when he was streaming chess like 8 or 9 years ago. People like Ludwig, other people as well. So he's one of those people who's been around forever, and I think certainly it's great to see him for someone who was there long before it even really became a category on Twitch. Was playing the game, so he certainly is probably the OG. I mean, I feel like he might be one of the very first people, if not the first person who was playing chess on Twitch. So certainly, it's great to see him here, getting all this recognition all these years later, and just looking forward to seeing what happens in these games today.
For sure. And his technique has been excellent. We were very complimentary of him during his previous match. And the games are off. And actually, I saw he tweeted about it. That's how thrilled he was to hear our kind words. And he deserved them. We weren't just saying them. He's played really well. And he takes on Nymn from the white side of this position, where Nymn quickly with bishop to b4, clearly learning some openings.
Right. So this is a Nimzo Indian. Okay. So Hutch plays knight c3 instead of knight f3. I believe in his game is against Nate Hill, he played knight f3 on move 3 instead of bringing this knight out. So it's interesting that he chooses to play this knight. A little bit confused as to why he's thinking here, though, because this is a very well-known opening.
Yeah,
he didn't accidentally bring out the wrong knight by any chance, did he?
I guess that's a possibility, but I would be surprised if Hutch of all people did that, because he has the experiences we've been talking about. And this bishop b4 move, he goes for bishop g5. So we're going to get a spicy variation. Both sides are playing for this idea of white going e4. So black pinned this knight on c3 to try to take control of the e4 square. So white returns the favor with bishop g5, pinning the black knight so that e4 becomes possible.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, actually, I would say he was just thinking for a little bit to remember the variation, because there's no way that Hutch would just play this randomly. It's a very, very weird kind of line to play, although I feel like you might have even played this by accident once.
I mean, I played many things by accident. Sometimes they just happen.
Didn't you play this in the U.S. Championship once, or am I crazy?
I feel like if anything was from the black side, I guess.
Okay. I feel like there's some game of yours from the U.S. Championship that I recall in this.
Yeah, I think it's on a show. This feels vaguely familiar.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But for Hutch, taking Nymn to a position he almost definitely has not studied feels like a good strategy, because as well as Nymn has played, if he gets unfamiliar with something, here he's starting to burn clock, and he's already down. It's 30 seconds. He still has 9 minutes, plenty of time remaining. But here are some critical decisions. Are you going to allow white to expand in the center with pawn e4?
Right. So I think probably at this point, it's a tough position for Nymn. He has to play like d5, d6, or c5. One problem with this structure is that c5 is obviously the best move here, but I don't feel like anyone would have shown him this idea because the setup is so unusual, to put it mildly.
Suspicious.
Well, I mean, I feel like most of the ideas normally revolve around putting the pawn to b6 and bishop b7. So in general terms, it's a tough structure and something that I don't feel like he's probably looked at. So if he hasn't looked at it, he's unfamiliar. If he doesn't put the pawn on c5, I think that white should just be much better.
Yeah, and the point of playing c5, everybody, is to open up this queen on d8 to go over to the queen side. So Hutch plays knight f3. He's just developing his pieces. He could play e4, so he still can after b6. But hey, Nym's showing some good understanding here that this bishop belongs in the b7 square.
Are you so sure that e4 is not just winning for white here?
I'm not positive it's not winning, but I was just trying to...
I'm very worried, actually. e4, h6, bishop h4, g5.
Right.
Knight
Just
G5. I'm
you
kind of
going to,
worried about this now that I look at it.
yeah, E5's happening. That's a pin knight here. Ooh, that could be a brutal start, but that means, Hutch played G3 though.
Oh, okay. Okay, so actually it's interesting then. So I'm curious after the match when we talk to when we talk to Hutch, I see Chad is saying way too dank. I'm kind of curious after the match when we talk to Hutch what his explanation will be for playing this opening, because it's obviously different than what he played in previous games. Um so I'm really curious to hear, and because like G3 Bishop G2 is fine for white, but again, I feel like if Black plays pawn to H6 here, Black might actually be a little bit better due to the double C pawns here.
Right. And those are long-term potential weaknesses because your idea was C5 at some point. He plays D5,
Which is a completely reasonable move as well, I think. Again, the main thing I would worry about is this bishop on G5 with this pin towards the queen. At some point, he needs to push the pawn to H6 and force an exchange.
for sure. So let's listen to Nymn to hear what he's thinking about this pin.
Purpose standing here. Yeah. So I'm going to take with this bishop. That's what I put it there for. I don't like this pin either. This pin is actually really dangerous. I got pinned like this against. I should be focusing on the game. The issue with the pin is this eventually, but it's not a problem right now. But probably my next move, honestly, is getting rid of this annoying ass pin.
Good move.
Yeah, he's been well. He's understanding.
I wonder where I put this knight. Probably here. Because if I go here, I don't have an escape route. Fuck, maybe that doesn't matter. I'm not gonna move this bishop anytime soon. No, because some shenanigans here. Yeah. Knight goes here. Queen still flex. Still, this queen needs to stay here for now. Wow. Why did he go all the way back? Fuck, this is pretty cool move, I think. What can he do from this diagonal? This? I feel like I'd take advantage of the fact that he let go of the pin. Fuck. Let me think for one more second so I'm not missing something. He can put the knight here now. Instead. I mean, it's not a good play though. Even if he's protecting it, I can take it with the pawn. And if he comes in, I take it with the queen. I think I want to go here. I guess if he moves this now, he opens up this diagonal for himself, because now I am blocking this diagonal. But it's not good. I mean, I'm covering this square. Oh, shit, it's in my asshole. I'm scared.
I wonder if he'll play knight d6 here.
Yeah, knight d6 would be an excellent move. If he doesn't do
the
that,
moment
I think
he
he's
moves
already
this
in a lot
knight
of
now,
trouble, actually.
He opens up this. Maybe that's okay. Fuck.
You know what's interesting, Hikaru? It feels like he's seen knight g5 tactics.
Hold on.
I think he has,
hey,
yeah.
you can't be here right now. You just unplugged my headphones.
His pet gave him a visit, but it's interesting because he keeps talking about this knight g5 move, which often happens if the bishop is undefended. If that bishop were on b7, for example, and this knight were not here, you have these knight g5 tactics. So it's clear he's been doing puzzles, and he does play c5 here. But do you think that Hutch is just going to go forward with c4 or bring his knight into the center with knight e5?
I mean, c4 looks like a very good move here for white. Knight e5 is also good, but I think c4 is extremely strong here. So I'd be a little bit surprised. Oh, but he plays e3, which I don't really like. Mainly because now the bishop is stuck behind the wall of pawns on c1. So even though at a grandmaster level, as you know as well, Robert, like white's probably just much better here, I feel at the level that these guys are at, it's very it's going to be about maneuvering. I don't feel like the ideas are free flowing for either side.
It's very true. And I feel like Hutch has been. Ooh, that move scares me because I see a bishop on d5 that has no safe squares. So if you can get c4 in and hit this bishop, that will be a trap piece. So let's listen to Hutch now and hear if he's thinking about trapping this bishop.
But it's complicated. He didn't trap it.
Exactly. He was thinking the exact same thing we've been talking about.
I will
So
say
we continue
Hutch
with the
looks a
plan
lot
here
more
because
serious.
now this pawn is pinned. He might just move the rook. He could push the pawn. He could take, but he's not going to do that. He's got to handle that. So he probably moves the rook here.
But then c4 wins his bishop.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if Nymn finds knight a5, I will be very impressed.
See, I was going to suggest it, but then I was like, do I even say it? Because that's going to be a tough move to play.
Very tough move. But the problem is I really only see a handful of moves that are okay for black, because c4 is a very big threat. So if Nymn doesn't play c4, knight a5, or knight d6, I think he might just be losing here.
I agree.
He was reaching for the a pawn to go a5, which would be a bad move.
He did it.
Oh, he did it. Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Hutch kind of gave that little Popeye side-eye thing going on there. He's like squinting at the board, like, something looks wrong about this. And
Okay, so I think the right move right now is just to immediately put pressure on this pawn, but I also need to take away some of the pressure in the center of the board here. Pushing the pawn doesn't work. Because he has this move, and then if take, then...
Oh, he sees it, but he's hesitating now.
Yep.
I think we just... Well, no. This man, this bishop is like so annoying.
Yeah, he knows the idea is there, but he's hasn't been able to convince himself because he saw earlier that after c4
Oh,
didn't.
no.
Oh.
No.
Uh-oh. He missed it. He should see. He saw it. He was talking about it. Hikaru, you know what I think the issue has been in this game so far for Hutch? He's playing way too cautiously.
Yeah, I think he's extremely nervous actually as well. Yeah, because like I've noticed in the other games he's looked much calmer, but now he does look very nervous. And the problem with this move is that it forces Nymn to trade. This is the problem. Like it's not a move where I think Nymn has many options. Nymn just has to take the knight. So I don't like this. I think Hutch is still better, but I'm a little bit worried about the position right now.
Yeah, you're right. And Nymn does take on D2.
Right, because it's just a forced move. There's no other choice.
And so both players were looking at this bishop as a piece that could get trapped. Now it won't even get trapped, even if you like play e4. But of course, Nymn just takes because he sees the bishop can swap off. And okay, Hikaru, at a high level, the light square control will be good for black. But at this level, I feel like the pawn on b6 is a bigger issue.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, if Nymn finds knight e5 next move, then we might as well just give him the championship trophy. Even after f3, I think knight e5 is still very strong.
Oh my gosh!
If Nymn finds knight e, is Nymn going to see knight e5? Oh my god! Oh my! Oh no! If Nymn sees knight e5, we might as well just give him the trophy.
Well, let's
knight
listen.
e5 is crushing.
We'll listen to him see if he finds it right now. I don't think he will. Though. It seems very hard.
I don't either.
This guy. Maybe I move him then. Should I move him? What square? What square? D, C, D. This is good actually. Because
Okay, so he doesn't
This
see
was
it,
something
which
I
I'm
could've
not
fallen
shocked by.
trap
But
to.
now Hutch
Thank
has
you.
to move the queen.
Take with my guy. So that's not gonna
He made a
happen.
good move though,
He's
right? Rook
up a
F8 is
minute
a
on
very
me.
good move. He just missed that tactical
But I feel like
opportunity.
I feel like my
Right.
game plan is actually a bit more clear right now. I think his is
Also
not as
true.
obvious now. I actually think I'm in a
95,
slightly
95
better
again.
position.
Oh,
but I cannot
95,
underestimate him.
95. Will he see it here? 95 is game over.
So this is a problem, but this is a pretty easy fix.
Yeah,
I go here instead? No, I don't.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's just the pawn was under attack, so your natural reaction is to
take now,
protect that
actually.
pawn. And if you didn't see it
No, it
the
doesn't
first
matter. You
time,
can take if you
it
want.
feels
I
like
can recapture.
unless he really
Even if he
sits and
sends
thinks
down
and
this
just
gun,
finds it on the spot,
I'll
it's
take
going to
it.
be hard for him to get to.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, this is wow. I do agree
he
with you
gonna
though in
do?
terms of Hutch. I do think he
What is
is
he
the
gonna
better
do? Probably
player,
gonna
but I feel like Hutch in general, I
this
think he's
guy
just a little
elsewhere.
bit too nervous.
I really
right
like the
now.
position of my queen, so I need to really fight to keep
And the
her there.
other problem I'm realizing is this position is
and
very
make
hard
sure
to
that he
play
doesn't
here
do-
because this is very advanced. Like he's still doing fine, but this bishop on a3, it's going to be very hard to figure out how to bring it into the game in a way that makes sense logically. Okay, so he goes, okay, now 95 again is winning the game here. Will Nymn see knight to e5? I like rook b2 from a conceptual standpoint, though. The idea to bring the rook to b1. Like the idea at least is good behind it.
Completely agree. And I feel like now is especially hard to find knight to e5 because there's this rook protecting the queen. So you have to realize that both of your pieces here on the deal, you have two attackers on the d2 square if that pawn is moved. So knight e5 threatens to go knight f3 check, and all the light squares are so weak because you had to give up your frappuccino bishop over here.
Right, agreed. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think he'll see it, but it's just a tough position, I think. To even pawn to e5 here is also very strong. Now the irony here is that if white takes with bishop, you still have knight e5.
I wonder if it becomes easier to see if bishop takes c5, because then you think,
right,
if the pawn takes, I get the bishop. So like there's more things hanging there.
Also true, yeah.
And Hutch's bishop is getting trapped if not for
right, that's why I don't like this. I mean, like I like the move, but I hate the move. It's like everything in between because it forces Hutch to find the move. There just aren't any other moves as far as I can tell.
Right. Yeah.
But Hutch might be worried. He might not realize his rook protects his queen here. I mean, I kind of wonder if Hutch hasn't seen knight e5 actually.
I feel like he has not seen it. I feel like it's been such an easy thing to miss for both players.
Yeah.
And why don't we listen into Hutch? He has a tough decision ahead. So let's hear his thoughts right now.
Oh no.
You just subscribed.
Uh-oh. 95, I mean, it's just... I'm very concerned here. The one good thing for Hutch, or not Hutch, but for Hutch, I would say is that I don't think Nymn has seen the idea before. So if Nymn had seen this idea with knight e5, knight f3, I think he actually would have found it.
Right.
But it's still a very tough position here for white to play. If Nymn takes with the a pawn and pushes c4, I think... Oh, man, he did it.
Nym's a beast. Okay, that's a good move, bishop c1, because now at least there's no knight e5. The problem is there's pawn takes d4.
Right, actually. That's why I don't like this move. That's actually why I think bishop b2 is better, because now pawn takes pawn is really strong. Then you start to see the knight ideas, whereas bishop b2 c4 was also very good for black. But there, I don't think that the ideas weren't
I don't want to give up
clear.
that pawn, so like I have to move him here. It's a shitty spot for him, but...
And his reasoning, it makes
I don't
sense.
have too many options right now. He's got another threat here. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I mean, if Nymn takes the pawn, it's going to be very hard.
He decided to do
He
that,
went
though.
c4, though.
Okay.
Okay, now I think Hutch has some chance. It's great for black. I mean, these two pawns are menacing, but at least if he moves his queen away from d2 now,
It's
which
a powerful move.
I feel like is the move you want to play to get your bishop free, there are no longer these knight e5 tactics.
Right. So this is very, very tricky here. Yeah, I don't know. The problem I think after queen c2 is there's still pawn to c3 or pawn to e5.
Ooh.
Both moves.
I really don't like my
the fact
position.
that Nymn didn't see e5 yet, I mean, I think is going to be very hard for Nymn to see that.
Right. I could actually see him playing f5 here to stop e4 if he thinks that
Not a
e4
fan.
is a threat.
Right. Also very possible. Yeah, this is true. But both players are getting low on time, so I mean, I feel like every move here is super critical because if Nymn blunders one of these pawns on c4, b4, his position could fall apart right away.
And he played b3,
Which is completely
that might be
fine
good
too.
for me.
Yeah.
I actually like b3 because conceptually you get rid. It's only one pawn that you have to worry about.
Feels good for me.
Oh, but Hutch likes it for him because his bishop has new life.
Yeah, of course, obviously. No, what I mean is I think it makes it harder to blunder for
Right.
black because
I
now
agree.
it's only one pawn you have to focus on. Now the question is Hutch has to be very careful not to play queen to d3 here because queen to d3 would lose again to knight to e5.
Yeah, that's really testing your opponent. Like, you know, 95, will it be seen long? I think it does actually come much more naturally when there's a queen directly under attack. So you're more
Right, agreed. Yeah, I mean,
enticed to
this
do
is both players getting low on time as well, though. I mean, this is. I feel like if Nymn had a couple more minutes, like let's say Nymn had 4 to 5 minutes, I think he would probably find the right moves here. But with only about 3 minutes, I think it's very unclear. I think it's very murky in terms of who's going to win this game.
I agree. And if you're Hutch, would you play queen to c5 or would you try to keep the queens on the board?
I mean, I think you probably try to keep the queens on the board, but it's just a very tough spot to be in here. It's just really tricky. I just don't know where you. I mean, queen c3, I guess, is the best move. And now again, Nymn here can play queen to e4 or pawn to e5. Both moves are very strong.
And queen e4 actually opens up an attack on the rook, and this d4 pawn again is in some trouble.
Right.
I wonder if in the back of both their heads, they're thinking, can white play bishop b2 and e4? Because Hutch, he said he likes his position more because his bishop actually can go to a3 and look more active than it ever has. But I wonder if he's starting to get these ideas where he is a d4 player through and through. If he can get 2 pawns in the center, that will look good for him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think it's anybody's game here, barring some spectacular moves from Nymn. If Nymn pushes a pawn to e5, I think he's doing very well. Plays queen e4, I still think he's doing well. But again, tough position for both players with very little time on the clock. And I expect there to be a pretty big blunder by one of them. I don't know who, but I think one of the players will make a big blunder somewhere in the next 5 moves.
And with such little time, that makes sense, right? You're now under 2 minutes. Each side, rook b6. He has good ideas. He's just trying to get his other rook to b8 probably.
I don't like bishop a3 at all, though.
Yeah, he's going to go to c5, I guess.
Yeah, it's just tough position. I mean, I don't even know what we're supposed to say, honestly, because it just feels like with every move you're hanging on a thread.
It does. And what I'll add is that bishop a3, he played it quickly. That's the best thing that Hutch just did. He put it in only 7 seconds. Whereas now Nymn is spending quite a deal of time, and the time advantage for Hutch is growing.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we listen to Nymn again to see what his thoughts are as this position heads towards a bullet scramble?
Right.
God, I'm so fucking scared. But I have to play. I'm down on time. I have to play. I mean, if he goes here... Oh, he did this move to do this. Oh, this is going to be really shitty. It's going to be the worst. I don't know how to win this game. I could go here. I eliminated defender, but...
It's got to move, though. No time.
Hutch plays so quickly.
Mm-hmm. Just gotta go. Gotta go.
Oh, fuck this.
Okay, e5's not a bad move.
I think that was a good play by me.
It's almost like he heard you.
Yeah, I mean,
I need to start trading pieces.
Okay, queen c4 is a very nice move.
Real
also.
fast.
So
Why
he's
did
got
he
to
do
take
that?
the pawn.
Right.
Take the pawn or move the queen. He's got to. Okay, takes the pawn. Now, one thing I was going to add though is Nymn has been the best player at playing under time pressure, with very little time on the clock. Oh, whoa! He's
Yeah.
about to play rook b4.
Hey, good move.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like this is the one thing Nymn has been much better at than everybody else, is keeping his cool when he has not had much time left.
That's true. And I think Hutch is going to keep the queens on the board.
He should.
This is
but
the scariest fucking
yeah,
thing I've ever
who
seen in my
knows?
entire life. I think I'm gonna lose this game.
Okay, so he trades
I'm
the
too slow.
queens. Okay.
Okay, he actually kind of
This might be a draw actually
by
after
doing that.
f4 if you go rook to d8 here,
But I
or
think he's
knight
also
to
scared of
a5.
time.
He plays f6, which I don't like. I'm gonna predict that this game might be a draw here because I think both players are gonna bring their kings up.
Right.
I have a feeling this is gonna be a draw.
Nim's doing a
That's my
great
guess.
job bringing that king into e6 like that. Keep it going.
Yeah, just king d5 here, of course. Yeah.
He's actually, I mean, Ludwig's reading Dvoretsky's endgame manual. It feels like Nim's is writing the book right now.
Yeah, this has been very, very impressive by Nymn. Okay, now knight a5 here. Oh, what's king c4? Ooh, I don't like that. Although, actually, king c3 is now a threat, too. It's like...
I think he's in a pickle.
Is king c4 actually a bad...
Oh, what's this move
He's
now?
bringing the king up.
Yeah, okay, so he's got to go rook e8 check here, and he's probably winning if he sees it. But it's a very hard move to see at this point.
Oh my god, that's a good move.
That was not a good play, I don't think.
This is very, very good by Nymn.
That was not a good play.
Okay, so
I have a bit of time now. I can.
So
think
now
again.
knight a5 is winning the game here, right? Knight a5 is just winning, I think.
This position is
is, with
really,
the
really
fork.
locked.
Yeah. Plays rook e8 though, which is a good move also. Now, as long as Nymn remembers to bring this knight into the game, he will have a good chance here. Just has to move the knight somewhere that isn't a blunder. That's all he has to do.
Right. I think he's very nervous right now.
Yeah.
So G6 is one of those non-committal moves. He didn't actually see anything for himself, so he just
Yeah,
calmly.
but now d5 is a blunder because you can take the bishop. Just rook takes bishop. Rook takes bishop. Takes bishop is winning.
He's going for it.
Wow.
Oh. Wow.
Now you take the pawn.
And these rooks are stuck protecting each
Yeah,
other.
this is... Oh, man. Nymn... Yeah, I think Nym's going to win this game, actually.
Did you see him try to go king takes b2 there?
Yeah. No, but I think Nymn is going to win here. Based on where the rooks are, specifically...
I'm fucking sweating my
I
ass
think
off.
Nymn should win this. He's just got to move quickly.
He's playing so well.
Yeah. d8 is good, too.
That's a good move.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't go to d2. Oh, that's
Wow. Oh, what a move. Oh, rook d2. Rook d2 now.
yes.
Rook d2. Wow, what a game by Nymn. This is amazing. But it's still not over. It's still not over, but this is impressive.
And with very little time on his clock too.
Yeah. So now you take the rook and king c2 and b2. Wow. Okay, I don't like rook d2,
Right.
but it's still good.
White showing king e3 there.
Right. Yeah, with the sneaky idea. Wow, what a game by... Wow, b2.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean, Nymn, the progress Nymn has made since
Mhm.
he started this pogchamps, unbelievable.
Right, now you just take, put the rook on d5. Wow.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
Oh,
Why
wow.
did I join this tournament? My nerves are not made for this shit. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Wow, oh my gosh, what a game.
That he played an excellent game of chess. I mean, Hikaru, if we go back to the game, he missed 95. But with the exception of missing 95, it felt like besides that, he was perfect almost.
Yeah, almost. I mean, there were obviously a couple points where Hutch could have probably won that game, but the sort of end game that it was so technical that I felt that, I mean, there really objectively were not many chances Hutch had to win that game. So I thought that was